Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a complete care guide for what is honestly one of the most unique, whimsical, and frankly adorable houseplants out there, the rabbit's foot fern. Whether you're a total fern newbie or you've kind of struggled with them in the past, we're going to unpack absolutely everything you need to confidently grow and maintain this beauty. So what exactly makes this plant, scientifically known as Davallia Fejeensis, stand out from the usual potted greenery? Well, at first glance, you see these incredibly delicate, lacy, dark green fronds. But the real star of the show, the whole reason for its name, it's what's happening right at the base. It literally produces these fuzzy, creeping structures that spill over the edge of the pot, and they look exactly like little rabbit paws. It's wild. Okay, so what are those furry feet actually doing? We need to talk about two crucial concepts here. First up, those fuzzy things are called rhizomes. Basically, they're modified stems that creep along the surface to soak up moisture and nutrients. And they do this because the rabbit's foot fern is an epiphyte. In its natural habitat, it doesn't grow deep in the dirt. It grows on things like tree bark or rocks, pulling what it needs right out of the humid air and the surface it's clinging to. Grasping this whole epiphyte thing, that is the absolute master key to keeping this plant alive.
Here's a quick look at our agenda for today. We'll start with meeting the rabbit's foot fern, move on to lighting and soil, master temperature and humidity, troubleshoot some pests and problems, and finally wrap up with styling, display, and propagation.
Let's jump right into section 1. Meet the rabbit's foot fern, a unique epiphyte.
So this plant is native to the lush, tropical spots in Fiji and Oceania, which means it brings a literal piece of the dappled forest right into your living room. And hey, for all you pet parents out there, you can totally breathe a sigh of relief. This fern is completely non-toxic and pet-safe for your cats and dogs. It grows at a moderate pace, usually maxing out at about 1 to 2 feet tall for the fronds, though those furry feet will definitely keep spreading. Treat it right, and it'll be with you for years.
Moving right along to section 2, lighting and soil, building the foundation. To get that foundation right, we've got to think about its native Fijian forest home. First up, lighting. You want bright, indirect light. Picture the dappled sunlight filtering through a jungle canopy. That's the exact vibe we're going for. Setting it near an east-facing window is usually the sweet spot for catching that gentle morning sun. Whatever you do, keep it out of harsh, direct sunlight, especially from south or west-facing windows. That intense sun will literally scorch those delicate fronds and absolutely bake those vital rhizomes dry. Now, because it's an epiphyte, your standard heavy potting soil is just gonna suffocate it. You need a super airy mix. It's an easy recipe though, just equal thirds. 1 part peat moss or cocoa coir to hold on to a bit of moisture, 1 part orchid bark for structure and airflow, and 1 part perlite or coarse sand so it drains really well. This mix completely stops water from pooling up and rotting out those sensitive surface roots. All right, section 3, mastering temperature and humidity to keep those feet happy. Listen closely to this part because if you've ever had a fern mysteriously die on you, this is usually where things go wrong. For watering, you want to give it a good soak when the top inch of soil feels dry and make sure all the excess water drains out. But here is the golden rule of this entire complete care guide. Never, ever bury those furry rhizomes. When you're potting it, those little feet have to sit right on top of the soil. If you bury them, they will rot and the plant's a goner. Oh, and since they drink from the air, give those exposed fuzzy feet a nice misting with room temperature water every so often. And speaking of the air, 50 to 70%. That right there is the magic number. Keeping your humidity in that 50 to 70% range is the absolute secret sauce to a thriving rabbit's foot fern. Remember, it's a jungle plant. Most of our houses just aren't that humid, especially when the heater is blasting in the winter. Honestly, low humidity is the #1 culprit behind those really sad, crispy brown edges you sometimes see on fern leaves. So, how do we fix a dry house? It's actually pretty easy to boost the moisture around your fern. Misting frequently is great, but pairing that with a pebble tray is even better. Just grab a tray, toss in some pebbles, add water, and set your pot right on top. Just make sure the pot is resting on the pebbles, not sitting in the water itself. You could also run a room humidifier, group it with some other leafy friends to create a little humid microclimate, or just stick it in a naturally steamy spot, like a bright bathroom or kitchen. Let's look at section 4, troubleshooting pests and problems, reading the signs. So even if you're doing everything right, stuff happens.
Plants definitely communicate with us, and this comparison is your ultimate diagnostic tool. If you're seeing yellowing fronds, and more importantly, if those little furry feet feel mushy and dark instead of firm, yeah, you're overwatering it and it's dealing with root rot. But on the flip side, if the tips are turning brown and crispy, or if the rhizomes are looking all dry and shriveled up, your plant is practically screaming for either more humidity or a good drink of water. Always check the soil and give those rhizomes a gentle squeeze to figure out how to course correct. You'll also want to keep an eye out for common pests. Spider mites actually love dry conditions, which is just one more reason to keep that humidity up. You might also run into white cottony fluff, which are mealybugs, or little brown bumps on the fronds, which is scale. And if your soil stays too soggy, say hello to fungus gnats. But don't panic. If you see any of these, you can easily treat them just by wiping the leaves and using an insecticidal soap or neem oil. Finally, Section 5, Styling, Display, and Propagation, helping your fern flourish. Now that we've nailed down survival, let's talk about the fun stuff, styling and making more plants. Because it's an epiphyte, those deep traditional pots, yeah, skip them. To really make this plant shine, you want to show off its star feature. Hanging baskets are amazing because they let those furry feet dramatically cascade right over the edge. Shallow, wide pots are also a great choice since they give the rhizomes tons of surface area to creep around. And if you want to get really authentic, you can even mount it directly onto cork bark or driftwood. Just keep in mind you'll have to mist it a lot more often if you go that route. Once your fern is super happy and you want to propagate it, it is ridiculously easy. Spring or summer is the best time. It's just a 4-step process. First, snip off a firm 2 to 3 inch section of a healthy rhizome. Bonus points if it already has a bud or a frond on it. Get a shallow pot ready with that airy soil mix we talked about. Next, just pin the rhizome horizontally right on top of the soil. You can literally just use a bent paperclip for this. And remember, do not bury it. Finally, pap it in a warm spot with bright indirect light and super high humidity, and in a few weeks, you'll see new roots and fronds popping up. Before we finish up this explainer, I really want to drill home this quote from our source material. This is, hands down, the most critical pro tip for this plant. Never bury the furry rhizomes under soil. They need air circulation and to be on the surface to absorb moisture. Seriously, if you take only one thing away from this complete care guide, make it this. Let those little rabbit feet breathe. And there you go, your complete care guide. You now know the exact secrets to balancing that dappled light, the perfect airy soil, and that crucial 50 to 70% humidity. So my question to you is, are you ready to bring this amazing pet-safe piece of the jungle into your own home? And when you do, where exactly are you going to display it to show off those fabulous furry feet? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and happy growing.